Dorothy and I met in 1995 when we worked together on the surgical dressing task force, so I have WOCN to thank for the beginnings of a long friendship. Over the past 20 years, Dorothy has been my colleague, my boss, my mentor, but most of all, my friend. Very few things have left my mouth or my computer without her review and guidance.
In 1987, I joined the Nursing Staff Development Department at the University of Texas MD Anderson Cancer Center in Houston, Texas. Dot Smith, the first interstomal therapy program director from 1974 to 1983, and Beverly Hampton, the current director, befriended me. Was I lucky or not? Talk about the dynamic duo. As a general surgery instructor, I needed to learn about wound and ostomy care with patients with cancer. Beverly took me under her wing to see patients. I was so impressed with the ease she had with establishing rapport with these patients and addressing their needs with education or product changes that I wanted to be just like her, the certified wound, ostomy, and continence nurse.
I've known Paula now a little over 25 years. We met first as a more informal type of session, but I really got to know Paula when she came to work at the Cleveland Clinic in December of 1990. I first knew her most specifically as a boss, then grew to know her as a friend and a mentor.
If I had to boil down how Dorothy's inspired me, it would be by setting the best example. She truly walks the walk. Patients, coworkers, and the many people that she's worked with here at WOCN will all tell you that she's set the highest standard and sticks to it. She truly goes the extra mile to ensure everything that is done in the best possible way. And she does this with her trademark humor and humility. Whether it's selecting the right pouch for a patient, ensuring that an assignment is understood, or putting her mark on the many documents that she's worked on here at WOCN over the years. When I find myself in difficult situations professionally, I often think WWDD, what would Dorothy do? She sets this example by making sure everything is done right. Dorothy always does the best possible work she can do and leads by example.
Beverly recruited me to be her co-director in 1993. After attending the WOCN and becoming certified, she continued to mentor me in this new role. Some of the lessons learned included to not take no as the first answer, but to ask the question in another way. This led to some creativity. That it was easier to ask for forgiveness than for permission. This worked most of the time. To use humor and lots of pictures in your presentations, to humanize them. This was pre-cell phones, so she carried her 35mm camera with her everywhere. And to never say no to an opportunity, as you never knew where it would lead to next, like presenting in a foreign country.
Paula is one of the most intelligent women I know, so the knowledge that she has contributed to the students that have passed through our doors, as well as all the others she has taught, is immeasurable. Not only has Paula been an educator, she has gone to places internationally, nationally, written book chapters, journal articles, and has always been willing to interact with anyone who's asked her for information.
One memorable time had Dorothy and I spread eagle in her office with our shoes off, practicing TBIs. Just at that moment, our administrative director walked in. He was a classy and dignified gentleman. I'm not sure he ever really understood what we were doing that day, and he probably would have been very frightened to learn that our nursing practice also at times includes pelvic exams and practicing clean intermittent catheterization. He never came by unannounced again.
Beverly never stopped learning. She modeled the true nursing professional by doing and encouraging her students to be active members of professional organizations, to maintain their certifications as CWOCNs, and to share their work in posters, presentations, and publications. She mentored me so that I too was able to accomplish all these tasks.
I have to admit, if it had been left to my own devices, I wouldn't have done most of the things that I've done with my career. But Paula was there, providing opportunities, encouraging, guiding, suggesting alternate ways of writing or saying things. And I have to admit, I would not be the WOC nurse that I am today if it had not been for Paula and Dorothy. Paula left her mark by continuing the legacy of Norma Gill, and she put in front of all of us the importance of providing care to that individual patient and never forgetting that it's a person that we're taking care of.
If you've attended a WOCN, if you've attended a WOCN conference, read an article in the journal, utilized one of the many documents from the WOCN, chances are you've been educated by Dorothy. She continues her leadership today by her involvement with the WTA program, bringing evidence-based wound care to the bedside nurse, and by serving as co-editor for 2 of the much-anticipated core curriculum textbooks. How has Dorothy left her mark? I think this is what she'd want me to say. Dorothy's left her mark by promoting patient care all over the world with her education of WOC nurses.
As for her biggest contribution to WOC nursing, Beverly would say that it was offering the WOCN to nurses who weren't able to travel to Texas. This was prior to the WebWalk and other online programs. She established the off-site programs in Kansas, California, and Colorado to make those nurses able to gain the knowledge they needed to become WOC nurses. Beverly moved to McKinney, Texas in 1997 to be closer to her 4 children and 15 grandchildren. At this time, she worked part-time in a local hospital as well as cared for her mother, Dady, who had a colostomy. She continued her role as director by commuting to Houston 3 times a year for each program until she retired in 2002. Beverly died of leukemia and breast cancer at the age of 70 on October 3, 2006. Prior to her death, she had established the Dario and Luther Grunewald Endowed Nursing Scholarship for the graduate entry program at Ohio State University. Forever faithful to her school, she was buried in a Buckeye red coffin. Beverly left her mark by encouraging us all to be all that we can be.